up, peeps, kings, and queens? Welcome back to Their POV with Nick and King. We are your host, Nikki Johnson.
And I am the King, King Harrington. How y'all be?
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. We have some of your favorite family in the building today. So let me go ahead and get them on the screen. What it do, fam?
Hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
next time I want the memo about the hat.
Well, you know I wear one every week, so that's a given.
Thank you. Oh, we got a lot of people that are
Mm.
starting to tune in. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Fam on the stage, fam in the audience. If y'all have not done so, please take a moment and share the show so people know that we are on. I see Loretta and Kayla already shared. Y'all are on it.
Hi,
Y'all are
Loretta.
on it. Come on, peeps. Come on, peeps. Alrighty. With that being said, let's get our preliminaries out of the way. King, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. What did I do? Didn't really do too much. Saturday, Sunday, nah. Can't say that I did anything this weekend, but it was good. I'm alive, so yeah, that's what makes it better.
Alrighty.
So yeah.
Nicole, how was your weekend, babe?
Oh, honey, it was a weekend. The snow. I'm tired of the snow.
Y'all have snow?
Yes, I'm so tired of the snow. I'm ready to take a trip to the sunny state.
Shut up.
But
Trying to
I
turn
just
my
still
cameras on back
watch
here.
Janet. But we'll
Huh?
talk about that later. I said just chill, watch Janet, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes. All right, Reese, what about you? How was your weekend, love?
My weekend was great. Relaxed a little bit, took care of some business, did a few things around the house. People came out, had done my roof yesterday. Oh, what's today? No, Friday. And today, just pretty much laid back and took it easy.
Well, thank you both for joining. Hey, Loretta. Hey, Boo.
Hey,
Hey.
Lolo.
Hey, hey. So I have news to share with y'all. Instead of telling you about my weekend, let me share that I took a COVID test the other day. I am completely COVID free now. Praise the Lord. Thank y'all so much again for checking up on me, texting, calling, the food, the everything. But let me tell y'all something that I learned, and we're gonna get right into all these amazing topics today. I learned that when you have had COVID, when you want to go and take another test to see if you're COVID free after you quarantine, do not take the PR something test. Go take the rapid test because the antigens live in your body for 90 days. I did not know that. So if you go take the other test and not the rapid, it's going to constantly come back that you have COVID. Okay, you can look it up yourself because I am not a doctor. I've got to bring my camera down. I am not a doctor. So, take that with a grain of salt. I thought I would share that. With that being said, are y'all ready to get into these good topics?
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you, Kayla.
yes.
Whoop, whoop. You can tell my son that too because he ain't called me. But anyway, let's jump on into this. Let's see. Hold on. Sierra said, yep, she is right.
What's
Hey,
up, Miss
Sierra.
Sierra?
Hey,
Hi,
boo, hey.
Sierra.
Hey,
Alrighty, y'all. Boom. Go ahead, Nicole.
Janet Jackson documentary. What are your
Documentary.
thoughts? The documentary. Can't get it out. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Who watched it? I know the four of us
I
did.
loved it. I loved
Oh,
it. I loved it.
let's
She made me
see.
want to go put on my little black jeans with the little holes in the knees, some little Adidas and a little shoulder shirt.
Come on,
I
shoulder
loved it.
shirt.
All
That's
right,
kind of
I
why I
see you,
wore my
girl.
hat today. It's not the one that she had in Rhythm Nation, but I love me some Janet. It was so nostalgic watching it. Oh my God. It was
I
memory
loved
lane.
it.
It took me through my childhood. So let me
Yes.
ask y'all before we get into what our thoughts were. We know that you loved it, Nicole. What did you think about it? Did you love it, King?
Yeah, definitely enjoyed it. It took me back when they showed the Rhythm Nation because I actually was part of that history. I did go to the Rhythm Nation tour back in '93. So yeah, I really enjoyed what she came across and expressed. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so here's the first question throwing out. Nicole, what are at least two things that you learned by watching the documentary that you did not know or shocked you?
Well, what I learned, like, just really hurt. I felt like this documentary was more intimate. You know what I'm saying? It was more her, like I don't want to, for the people that ain't seen it, I'm sorry, but I liked it because they gave the footage no one ever saw. Like
Mm-hmm.
you seen her wholeheartedly spirit, like you seen her vulnerability, not playing the victim. Like I felt like in this, she showed every black woman, but every woman, period,
Mm-hmm.
that you can overcome anything and still keep pushing and 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 be who you are,
Yeah.
because she opened up about so much, like her relationships. Like she let everybody know, like the media, how the media dogged her out, but she still she was like, okay, you talk about me, oh well, but I'm gonna keep pushing.
That part.
I'm gonna make records, make hits, just be me. That's what I
Yeah.
loved about it.
Yeah. One of the things I loved watching this, y'all, was it reminded me of the true entertainers in that era. Well, that
Right.
era and then the era, music before. I'm not saying we don't have entertainers now, but watching her work ethic, all that went into it, and watching what fandom used to really be like back in the day, like it took me back. Because if you've ever seen any of the concert documentaries with Michael in them and how people used to literally pass out when he just walked out on the stage, like that's the type, or watching an entire Asian audience that doesn't speak English know every single word of this, like that's the type of entertainers that I grew up watching and that I love and admire. King, what were a couple of things that you learned in the documentary that either shocked you or you didn't know?
Let's see. One of them, I didn't know who James was on drugs. That
You didn't
surprised me
know?
totally. I was like, okay. No, I
Okay.
didn't know he was on drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, I was totally surprised. And I was like, what the heck. And as well as my man, the other dude,
Mm-hmm.
her second husband.
Renee.
Didn't know he was
Right.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but didn't know Renee was on drugs. But what really surprised me that she lost that Coca-Cola deal because of the situation that happened with Mike.
Now
That they had
that's
that million dollar,
That
that
didn't
multi-million
surprise
dollar,
me.
yeah, that multi-million. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying
that
this surprised
shocked
me because I
me.
didn't know that they had even went to Coke that
Right.
was trying to put her on as far as endorsement, and then to lose it because of what Mike was going through.
Yeah,
So
and that's
that
one thing.
and then
That's another thing that I like. She showed her openness between a relationship between her and Mike. We all knew, they media or we together, but she even talked about when they were apart. Like she was like, "There's people in his ear that's pulling him away from
oh
family."
yeah,
I
yeah.
went to his house one time and he, kind of brushed her off. Like that's why I said I loved it. I
Yeah.
I recorded it and I don't want to delete it because I love
Yeah.
Janet. I love that about her.
Christina says she grew up with
And then there was just
Janet
one
and
more
loved
thing.
her, but
Oh,
she didn't get a chance to watch it.
didn't get to
Christina,
watch it.
they have been
Oh,
running reruns back to back. Matter of fact, when you
yeah.
get through watching this, the rerun will be on again. They're gonna keep running reruns, and I'm
Mm.
sure you probably can catch it on YouTube, and maybe even Hulu or something. But it's Lifetime, baby. They're gonna keep running reruns. So I know Sean did not get an opportunity to watch it, but I know you wanted to talk about the alleged daughter. And since they did talk about it, let's hit that conversation. All right, Sean, we're gonna start with you. You're welcome, Christina. And good to
Well, my
see you, sweetheart. That was one of my working buddies when we were at QVC. Anyway, Sean, let's go ahead and start with you on that. What are your thoughts about this daughter that she allegedly has with James DeBarge?
I mean, it's too many rumors and I people talking about it, and it sounds too true in that it could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw one instance, I think a clip of it where they was talking about doing a DNA test, and Janet didn't want to do a DNA test. I'm like, well, this shit everybody up. Why don't you just go ahead and do that, put it to bed, and be done with it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it said one part, I think the test came back 96.7% accurate. I mean, does that mean, I don't know. I thought DNA had to be 99.99999%. But it just, out of all the stuff that's been going on in your life, and that's the one thing that it seemed like haunts you, that in the Super Bowl incident, why don't you go ahead and clear it up and be like done with it?
Yeah.
I don't think she. I think now that was the only part that kind of threw me because she never denied. Like I never had a child, another child. She was just like, how could I keep a child away from her father?
Wait
And
a
that's
minute. She actually was starting to cry. It was the emotions for me. It
yeah,
was the how could I keep it? It was the but I'm gonna ask y'all if y'all noticed this part. When her and Rebe were talking about it, neither one of them ever said no.
right.
Rebe didn't even look up at the camera. If you go back and watch it, watch
Yep.
everything that Rebe says. Rebe doesn't even look up at the camera. She's very mindful of what she said. Like she's intentional about the words that she's gonna say. Because remember that she supposedly, allegedly gave the child to
Rebe.
trying to come on.
But
Gave the child to Rebe to raise. So hold on. So she never.
Can you say that again?
Alexa, stop. She
Alexa's
is so
got her
ear
opinion.
hustling. So she never looks up at the camera, number one. Rebe never says no. They never just completely say no. And neither does Janet. Did you notice that?
Right. And then she said that she had a niece that looked like her. Ribby's and Randy's. And I'm like, they never showed Randy's daughter. They only showed
they
that
showed
one.
Randy's daughter. Supposedly that was Randy's daughter that they showed, but they did show her.
Oh, I thought it was
I'm sorry.
Ribby's
They
daughter.
also showed the other brother. Wait a minute, you might be right.
They only showed
two
one
girls.
girl.
They
only
showed
showed
two
one.
girls.
Oh, I thought they only showed one. Because I thought it was like two
One
pieces.
girl, she
I
looks
thought it was the
incredibly
same
different
girl.
in the other picture.
Yeah, so I was just like, you still ain't clearing it up, Janet, but I still like.
I mean, real talk is their business. But I
Right.
was really hoping when it came up, I'm glued to the TV like, okay, they're gonna finally. And at the end, I was like, nobody said no. What happened? Okay.
Right. Right. That's how it was. I was like, she didn't say yeah or no. When she started crying and talking about how could I keep my daughter away from her father, a child from her father, and I'm like,
She that baby mama.
What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Kim?
I mean, like you said, the rumors of her, supposedly giving up this and that. My thing is, she didn't show me where. I mean, that she did have one. I mean, about everything that was going on that was said. Even when Tito was saying it, he didn't feel that she would do that and stuff, and everybody was like, and I felt that was her. To me, like you said, that was her time of being as vulnerable as she could to do that and never saying that she had one. So, me personally, I don't think she ever had one. So I just leave it like that. I mean, nobody's ever produced one. Everybody's it's just always been rumors and rumors. So by her addressing it the way she did, I just feel like, hey, she probably didn't have it. So that's just my thoughts on it.
can
I
I
don't
ask a
say one
question?
ain't never been produced, but ultimately it's not really our business. But I think it was addressed but not answered. I'll say it that way.
Can I ask a question? Where was her other siblings in this? Because only two of them participated. Three.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I asked myself that, but those were the two she said she was as close. Not saying she wasn't close to all of them, but she was
she used to be
incredibly
close
close
to
to
Marlon
those
too.
to Randy and Tito. I don't know how. And well, Rebe was there. You got to give Rebe some credit. So it was Tito, Randy, and Rebe, her mama.
Yeah.
Well, I know they fell out with
Yeah.
Latoya because Latoya was trying to sell stories.
I don't know.
Latoya
That's
was
been in
going broke.
tabloids for years. I don't know. But
Well, see, they had been fell out. They been fell out with Jermaine. They had problem with Jermaine way back. So that's another. Yeah, I knew about Jermaine. Jackie was never that one to do any. If you notice, Jackie was never one when they did any type of open like that. He was never one of the ones that actually did any talking. So I was surprised at Tito, but Tito did more, than I thought. But yeah.
One thing I didn't like about this is if somebody don't find their mama a wig, I'm gonna be mad.
Yo,
That
hey,
lady
leave
done
Miss
got
Jackson
the
alone. Leave Miss
I
same
Catherine
will let
alone.
wig.
you get off Miss
Okay,
Catherine's wig. That's probably her
She has
favorite
been wearing
one.
the
yeah, get off
same
Miss
wig
Catherine. Nicole,
for
Leave
years.
And you
leave
know
Miss Catherine
what?
alone.
And that wig
Just leave
probably
Miss Catherine
cost a
alone.
good $10,000.
It probably
Leave Miss
did, but
Catherine's hair alone.
Hey, just leave Miss
Oh,
Catherine alone. She's been grieving. She knows been going through. So just let
she made me
her go.
cry.
You know, we
She
she
just
made
all
me
know
did.
Catherine
cry.
Jackson from
My heart
She
her
broke for
made me
smile.
her.
cry. Yeah,
Yeah,
when Janet
yeah,
was like, "Mom, is it
yeah.
too hard?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then when she started getting ready to cry,
Right.
I was like, "I know, because I miss him too." Which is another
Yeah.
thing. It was so good just to see Michael on screen the
Right.
last 2 nights.
Yo, when they did the part, the doc, the uncut version of him writing Scream, and
Oh
it was
yeah, yeah.
Janet
That was
and
tight.
him
Yeah,
in the bedroom, and I was like,
yeah.
whoa.
Did y'all find it crazy? I won't even say strange because we know how the business is. Did y'all find it crazy that when
Mm.
she went to do the video, he shot his in at night? She
Oh
shot
yeah.
hers in the day. I'm sorry, it wasn't vice versa. Anyway,
Yeah,
they shot at different times, but when she was actually
Mm.
there while he was there, his team did not want her anywhere near him. I know how close I am with
Yeah.
my siblings. I wish one of them would have tried to keep one of us from the other one. That place would have been torn up. So it gives credit to what she was saying about the people who were around her trying to keep him from his family and be controlling with those. Of course, I totally believe, this is just my opinion, that they did that because you could control Michael in that way. There's nobody around him to be like, Mike, something ain't right if everybody around him is getting what they want. So what were y'all thoughts when she made that statement about not even being able to be in the same? I mean, literally, his scenes were blocked off. She couldn't even see him. What do y'all think about that?
Right.
I think that showed her, that it showed like, hey, you know, we got putting us against each other, because like I have 7 siblings, well 6, including my son makes 7, but and our relationships are kind of different, like
Mm-hmm.
with all of us. But if one of my brothers, shout out to Hamilton, because that's my right hand man, if we fall out, like my heart is like, dude, like what's your problem? Like it, we go hard because me and him we're a year apart, but we're
Mm-hmm.
so close together. So I mean, when she was talking about it, you could see the pain in it, that it hurt her feelings. And then some of them just like, as siblings, you learn, or you be like, okay, I hurt your feelings, but we still brothers and sisters. They ain't gonna change. And if I hurt your feelings, you get over it,
Mm-hmm.
type situation. And that's, to me, that's how I took it. Like that's why I said she showed everybody that in this, that I'm just normal. I'm you.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is I sold records.
Got plenty of
And
money
she
too.
said part of it too. Part of it too was like competitiveness. She said, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, when they did separate her from him and she did her own thing and stuff, the way she's gonna bring that energy when they actually got the video together. I'm gonna tell you what was my craziest part is the way was real cool is when Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, what Jimmy Jam was talking about, and Terry Lewis when Mike came to the studio and
Oh yeah.
actually got in the studio, and how they was like, and they act like little chillies. He said when they walked in, and Mike was like, "Yo, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this." And he said he got in there. He said, "Yo, he just was like the Tasmanian devil." He said he was dancing all around the studio. They was doing this thing. He said, "So how was that?" And
Yeah.
he was
He
like,
came back with the
"Yeah,
solo.
yeah,
Like, how was that?
that was pretty good." He's like, "Yeah, that was good. That was good." So yeah, I thought that was cool just to have that part they showed about him actually in the studio with them.
Doing Scream,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you guys think in the audience if you have watched it? Here's a question, and I'm gonna throw it to you first, Reese. So everybody knows about Nipple Gate. Everybody knows what happened in 2004 at the Super Bowl when she was performing with Justin Timberlake, and her breast popped out. You know, they act like that was the apocalypse. But in watching it, and I know you didn't see it, Sean, but I know you've heard about plenty of the drama with it. In watching it, it was it was a trip how he's the one that actually accidentally removed it, but she's the one that is just now recovering. We're talking, that was 2004. She was banned. She was not allowed to go to the Grammys. A lot of doors were shut. Contracts were canceled. People were reporting it to the FCC. Like, it was just so much that she had to deal with that he did not have to deal with. And I actually honor her for saying that she didn't want him to involve himself, so the backlash would fall on him as well. But for her to have to just now be recovering from that, what were y'all thoughts when she was talking about the little Nipplegate thing? Go ahead, Reese.
I think it was totally wrong for what they did, how they just pretty much blackballed her, pretty much in a sense. But if you think about it, a lot of artists, when they come so big, it's already pretty much almost like a setup, pretty much. And like you say, she didn't have nothing to do with it. Justin Timberlake pulled it. So it wasn't like they call it a malfunction. I mean, if he wouldn't have touched it and pulled, it wouldn't have happened. But it wasn't like she ran off stage with her chest out. Covered it up right quick. Okay, it was a mistake. Forgive, move on. That was a moment in history. So to hold her accountable for all that, for all these years, I just think it was more of a setup than anything.
Okay, do y'all remember in the early 2000s, that was the time of a lot of sex tapes coming out into the tabloids, because we didn't have social media then. So it was more of a tabloid thing. And I don't remember the exact year, but that was around the time Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, I think they were one of the first couples with a released sex tape. But I'm saying all that to say, from there to, you know, somebody else we know that had a sex tape with somebody who now they are incredibly mega rich. Those type of things happen. But something like a malfunctioning wardrobe shut down a woman's career. Isn't that?
But also,
and I hate to say this, but I have to say it. There is a difference in color. But
yeah,
for that to have happened during a time when people were getting rich off of their sex tapes being released and getting movie deals and talk, you know, just all kind of stuff, for her to have to deal with that, when clearly I don't personally think it was done intentionally, even though it was reported back then that people thought she was doing it because she had an album coming out, which is dumb, because she's Janet Jackson. She's not Jane Doe that don't nobody know. So what do y'all think about that?
But also, it was in this time when Michael was going to court. So
Right.
It was, you remember Michael had just he technically he didn't beat it, but he paid the family, the first accusation that he paid them. So it was like, if we don't get Michael this time, we gonna get Janet. And I think that's how it went down. I don't think it was for her album. I really think they were coming for her because of her name. Like she said, it's guilty because of association.
Yeah.
I think honestly, when she said it, you think about everything. And it's like, okay, we didn't get the other people wasn't like, and I ain't trying to make a cold thing, but
and that's why I say I think it was a setup, because they couldn't get one person, and plus her career was booming. So we got to take this whole empire down. And so how we need to do that, we're gonna do it. So like I said, he was in the way they showed it in the Super Bowl, he was supposed to put his hand right there and take it away. Why would he rip that if it wasn't supposed to happen? I mean, I'm not saying.
Did he rip it?
He had to grab it to pull it, because I don't think the Velcro was anything like that. So how did it come off? Because as soon as he did like that, she put her hand up like this. Like, oh, what happened? So even though she apologized and said it was a mistake, they still held her like she was, like I said, guilty of just taking her top off and running through the end zone.
You'd have thought she was straight baby ball naked or had actually killed somebody, because that thing did not die down for a long
years.
But beyond what didn't die down in the media, it was the backlash and the cancellation and being banned and blackballed. I was like, it was like what Tyler said last night. It was a blank nipple. It was just a nipple. And there were other things that were going on with other celebrities during that time that were much worse.
Yeah,
But
and
they
I
didn't
love
have to
that
deal with what she.
I love that Questlove. They started the petition
To
to get
get her in the
her.
Hall of
Yeah,
Fame. Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I love that. Like it was our people that stuck with you. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even in the documentary where she was talking about religion, you know how they used to say they didn't believe in God and stuff and all this and that, and they came back and she was like, if it weren't for God, like I wouldn't have none of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hit our final thoughts on this one and move on, King.
Yeah, like I said, it was just good to see her, be able to, show from her perspective as far as being personal about, being a Jackson, going through what she went through with the situation with the baby rumors and, getting married, actually eloping, with James DeBarge, and then, the scandal with her outfit and stuff, and still, and I thought the West thing was pretty cool too when they brought in Jermaine Dupri, how that all went in and
Oh,
stuff, and
that
how
was
she
so
was
good.
with him and stuff, and yeah, and know that they would still be together if Jermaine was ready. Basically, she wanted to have kids with him. She was like, she wanted to really be with him. So,
I think it
and
still
I
is.
mean, overall, it was just a good document on her, showing her, bringing out her point of view of, bringing out her truth of being a Jackson and being
Yeah.
Janet Jackson and dealing with her dad and not even wanting to sing. That's the thing, not even wanting to sing. That was not her. That was not her future. She wanted to be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So it was just good to see her, talk about all that. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I felt it could have been a little bit more in depth to where some of the other stuff that she might have hit. But other than that, as far as bringing what she brought out, that was cool.
Reese, I know you didn't get to see it, but what are your thoughts on Janet and her career? Anything?
I mean, as a whole, and not seeing the documentary, I always loved Janet, her spirit, everything that she brought to the table. She was always seemed like a positive in the public eye until like I say, everybody started coming after you. So I think that made her fight even harder to be the person that she wanted to be, because you had other, like you said, you had other people out there doing things and they wasn't even ridiculed as hard as she was. And from documentary, like you said, she just wanted to be out there for people enjoy, and you could tell by her shows when she invited people on the stage and did certain things. And yeah, that but it was just like she was that people person that she wanted to be. Just I'm me. I'm not no. Don't put me on a pedestal. I want to come down there and sit with you in the audience type person. So to do all that is bad. That the entertainment does that to people because they do sit on a pedestal and they want to bring them down because for their personal gain. So that's my thoughts.
Cole.
I loved it. Like I said, I recorded 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was it was an opener because I just love like the rawness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like from her dances, how she chose her dancers, her relationship, how she's proud to be a mom now, and she's like, I want to go out with a bang. And I'm like, more that people tried to tear you down, you still soared higher. Yeah, like you didn't really put expectations on yourself. You was like, I'm gonna do it, and regardless of what naysayers think about me, I'm gonna do it, and she did it.
That part. So for me, I've always seen her as this quiet storm, very, very quiet, little petite, but powerful. I did not know that Stevie Wonder was her cousin. I
I
was
didn't
so
either.
shocked to learn that. I was super shocked to learn that. Um, Another
Didn't know
thing,
that though. Yeah, didn't know that part.
huh?
He
He
said he
said he
No,
didn't.
I'm
did
saying
know
yeah, I
that.
didn't know that. I knew that back from when the Jacksons sung on Stevie Wonder's song.
Mm-hmm.
He haven't done nothing, and he talks about So I knew that way back then they were related.
Oh, okay.
Um, I don't know what just happened. Okay. The other thing would be she was such a real woman to me. There was not an ounce of celebrity that I saw. You understand? It was like this woman that happened to be a Jackson that wanted to just be Janet, just wanted to be herself. But of course, by association, she was who she was. But ultimately, she wanted to love just like I do. She was in bad relationships just like I've been in. When she said that she was riding around looking for James one time because he was out there in them streets. Who ain't rode around with your homegirl or homeboy trying to find somebody? And then when she said that she spent her wedding night by herself because he said, baby, I'll be back. I know some people who were addicted to drugs that were like that, so just, I don't know. She became even more real to me. Y'all couldn't tell me I wasn't Janet growing up. She just really, like, I'm watching her and I'm like, Lord, I went through that too. Child, I've been there too. So it was just really good to see Janet as herself. But I'm going to be real with y'all. When I first started watching, I said, I'm praying she is not going to die. I'm going to tell you why I said that. Lately, it's like when people put out their books or do a documentary on their life. And I'm going to leave it right there. So right. I'm just hoping it was just a documentary because I was like, this is.
Anyway. You got to understand, she's been working on it for about 5 years?
I think it was 5 years.
Yeah, she was 5 years. So, and she didn't want nobody else to tell her story but her. So I don't think so.
And it was super beautiful to me. So I enjoyed it. I've watched it twice too, Nicole. I absolutely loved it. We have a comment in. Oh, what up? There y'all boy. Hi, Ricky. Ricky. Can't
What's up, Slick?
All right, so here's our next topic. Booty boom.
Cardi B versus Tasha K. Cardi B awarded almost $4 million. According to TMZ, the rapper won her libel case against Tasha K, who she sued for posting videos where she alleged, among other things, Cardi B was a prostitute who dabbled in drugs and had contracted STIs. After a week plus long trial, Tasha was found liable on 3 separate claims in order to pay Cardi $1.25 million in general damages and $250K for medical expenses.
There were also other ones which totaled up to almost $4 million. Whoa, that was oh, Ricky says, what's up, y'all? So it's been some bad blood between a blogger named Tasha K and Cardi B for several years for a lot of stuff that Tasha has said, has reported, has done on her channel, all of that. It's been a lot of back and forth, but Cardi took her to court on it. For defaming her character and won. Now, I have to read you guys this statement to be fair. That Tasha K, she did do a video, I think on the 26th. And so she said in part, and I quote, "The appeal process has already started and we intend to expose every conspiracy against me, my company, and my family. I was supposed to be destroyed a long time ago, but it didn't happen and I'm still here." She also said that this trial was purely sympathy and a payola to protect corporate interests, and we intend to take this all the way to the Supreme Court if need be, end quote. So it's so many questions I have for y'all. Does Tasha have the right to freedom of speech to say the things that she said? Or does Cardi B have the right to take her to court if she's saying stuff about her that she feels is wrong or a lie? Now, let me add this in before y'all start giving your answers. One of the things that Cardi B said in court was that she was suicidal during the time that all this stuff was being reported. Like, it was that type of stress on her. So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about the fact that a celebrity took one of the bloggers, one of the media outlets to court about defaming their character and actually won? How do y'all feel about this?
Well, me personally, I think anything you do in public or that's out there that you put out, that's on you. So if she did something that she lied on Cardi B, I say yes. But there's been stories of her out there doing certain things, and when she was out there, even private tapes and all this other stuff. Now she has
Allegedly. We're gonna say allegedly.
allegedly, allegedly,
Go
allegedly.
ahead.
And so I think with the entertainment world comes some of that stuff. But this lady Tasha B,
Tasha
she
K.
says, huh?
Tasha K.
Tasha K. I'm sorry, that she has the information to back it up. So for her to come out like that, unless it's like a personal vendetta against her or something, um, I don't know. But then again, if you had all the information, saying like you would have presented it in court to prove that okay, I do have this, so they would just punish her because of what she said.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to court versus the court of opinion of the public, is she can, because Tasha has this thing, she gonna always present what she calls receipts, whether it's a text message or a phone call she's recorded. But some of those things aren't necessarily admissible in court, and those that are may not prove your point as far as the law, if that makes any sense. However, Tasha has said on one of her things that she's done before, I won't say the title because y'all can look it up yourself, but she did say she had something against Cardi B. So, could it have been a vendetta? I don't know. However, every time she said something, she would present what she considered to be a receipt. And Cardi B, one time they were back and forth kind of on Instagrams where she did actually respond to her, but I think one of them, she said something like, you have to consider that I have a child. Like, in other words, my child will see this stuff one day. Because some of the things that Tasha was allegedly saying was the woman had some sexually transmitted infections. They don't call them STDs. It's STIs. Had bumps on her mouth because Offset was cheating, allegedly. Calling out her husband for cheating with another celebrity, allegedly. So, was she wrong for suing her? Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, so at first I never really followed up on Tasha K, right? So I was like, oh, well, that's like Cardi, you come on Instagram, you be on Twitter, you be bashing everybody, but now the tables got turned on you and she put it out there. Now you got a problem. That was my argument until I went and followed Tasha K. Now, I was with Tasha until I seen the apology. The apology kind of threw me off because she was saying, oh, I'm pro-woman, the nudity, this and this. But you just had this girl, this young rapper, Suki, on your podcast. And Suki got on a see-through jumper. She talked about, if you don't know Suki, go look her up. She shut down Instagram a couple months ago because she put a pornographic video out there. So I'm saying, how are you going to say, oh, I'm standing up for women and I'm against nudity and all this and that, where all these women that you got on here on your podcast do the same thing that Cardi do. They rap, they flaunt their body. Like you was promoting Megan Thee Stallion, allegedly. But the only thing that you promote her now because she tells all the kids how to do the Stallion, the Megan Thee Stallion dance. But because she got a college degree, it makes her better than Cardi. Yeah, I feel like it was you was after her for some reason. And is it because Cardi was beating all the other cases that she was involved in, like the stabbing and all this and that, and Offset was doing this, or she's I don't know why you was doing that, but allegedly, I'm sorry. And but I'm saying, like, you can't say I'm for the women's rights and then you turn around and you bash this woman. You just can't do that. So I feel like, hey, you shouldn't put some stuff out there in the atmosphere. But when you put it out there, so I'm kind of torn on both sides.
King.
Well, just Nick, when you said about Nicole, when you said about Sukiyana, I know Sukiyana is from Love and Hip Hop Miami. She's reckless. She's straight reckless. So yeah. But as far as talking about Cardi B, I mean,
Who is that?
what's name Tasha, you know what I'm saying? You go back to Cardi coming off the pole and becoming a full entertainer. You know, rapper making all this money. So I mean, you know, she got a history. So like any blogger, we know over the years, bloggers have always came at celebrities trying to defame their character and lost. And you know, the companies have lost big time. Have always lost money trying to come at them, especially when you ain't got facts. It's one thing to sit there and allegedly say this and that about them, but to put that information out and you don't have no substantial proof, you're gonna see a bad one. And in this one, this costs her a lot of money. So she can appeal all she wants to. I mean, yo, only thing she can sit there and everybody knows that Cardi B used to be a stripper. That's the only thing that's defined. It wasn't no. That's not alleged. She was a stripper. They came off the pole. But when you're gonna sit here and try to say that she's a prostitute and all that, you ain't got no proof. What you expect? This lady has, you know what I'm saying, much fame. And then, like you said, the label, the record company stuff, they ain't about to go down like that. You about to see a bad one. So my thing is, she get what she get. You know, that's what she get for sitting there trying to come at somebody. And like you said, it's probably a personal vendetta, something that she hating how you know she came about and became the star that she became. You know, and that's probably part of it. But my thing is,
But
you can't be no a reporter. Hmm?
but do you think also that just like you said, the reporter getting the name out there, another one of those type Amorosa type to get the negative to put stuff out there that everybody wants, being reckless with it, just become more famous and to get yourself out there, hoping that you will get this TV show or whatever, be the next Wendy Williams or anybody. Because right now, I guess she's just on YouTube or Instagram. She's just a social media type host. So
Blogger.
when a blogger,
Hmm.
so when you do that, you want the hot stories, you want all those things, and like you say, maybe that was something she had against Cardi B to say, okay, this is my chance, not knowing that she was going to get busted in the head with point 1.225 million dollars. But
But see, the thing is, when you come at these people, you supposed to have your facts. When what's name came at who was that? Yeah, like when you talk about Wendy Williams. One thing about Wendy, all her stuff was facts. Nobody could say nothing. Nobody ever denied the stuff that Wendy put out. When she used to talk about the
That's
rappers and
not
what they
true,
did
King.
and
That's
all
not
that,
true, King.
nobody was in.
That's
Well, I mean,
not
I
true.
guess I ain't gonna say all of them. I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them. I ain't gonna
A
say all of
lot
them,
of
but
people have
a lot of
denied
them
it.
actually was like, "Yo, Wendy need to quit putting that business out there." Yeah, and then a lot of them didn't either. So I'm saying, so it
But
goes. A lot of them didn't. So even the way she
yeah, but
climbed up on the ladder,
this is my
Well,
stance too.
okay, y'all have to remember Wendy started. First of all, anytime you hear the word hot topic, she get all credit for that. She started that back in her radio days. Nobody was doing that. But from radio till now, yeah, there
right,
have been a lot of things that she's reported that she has had backlash about. But also, with this TV show in her ear, there is an earpiece that when she forgets to say the word alleged, the lawyer on staff is reminding her
right,
because you can't you
yeah,
can just you can put whatever you want to out there, but if you put it out there as facts versus saying allegedly or it's being reported, you can be held
Right.
liable.
But
So
see, that's that's a lot
yeah,
of
so
things
you can't
too.
say
right.
that the stuff that Wendy report is always correct. Everybody is gonna get a fact from somewhere. Now
But see,
you
that's
would like to hope that your source is accurate, but if to you that source is accurate, then hey, my sources tell me blah 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 blah. But the thing about it is Tasha was saying allegedly stuff like the woman was sleeping with men's husbands. No,
yeah.
Lord, women's husbands. The
But
woman was
here's
Mm.
sleeping with men for money or robbing them. Like she was saying quite a bit of stuff.
but here's the thing too. My thing is, if if you lived a reckless life, that backlash is coming.
But was
If
it
you live
reckless
it
to her
right,
though, Nicole? To her, was it reckless? You're calling it reckless, but to her, was it
no.
reckless?
But look at the music you put out there. Not saying it's her fault, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, okay, getting off subject. Look at Kanye. Kanye, they are saying Kanye knows how to control paparazzi, and he does
Allegedly.
allegedly, but he like allegedly he is because when he get ready to pull the shenanigans, like he's pulling allegedly now, telling people that Pete Davidson or whoever the little dude is that's dating his wife got AIDS. Are we
Mm-hmm.
gonna see Kanye in the courts?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if he really said it, and it really bothers Pete enough. And that goes back to the original question I'm going to throw out there for y'all. This will be our we're going to move on to the next one after this one. That goes back to, do we all have our amendment rights to say what we want to say? Because the amendment says you have the right to freedom of speech. Or do people have a right to be respected, not lied on, not talked about, not have their business put out there? However you want to look at it. So in these situations, do you have the right to say somebody got an STI because they got a bump on their lip? You know what I mean? So is this an issue with, well, Tasha K had the right to say it because freedom of speech? Yes or no, Maurice? What are your thoughts?
I think we should all be respectful of other people's feelings, because some things we do out there that we do it for is personal to us, and if people find out or whatever, it's a hurting feeling. So I think we should all be respectful for other people's privacy. Now, if you out in the middle of downtown and something happened, that's different. But if you in closed doors, behind closed doors, whatever you do, I think that part should be respectful. How you got the people looking over people's fences at their pools and everything, trying to get pictures of them naked and everything. I think that should be off limits. If I'm on my personal property, leave me alone. But if I'm out in public, walking around, okay, I'm fair game.
Mm-hmm. I got you. I personally, this will be my last thought on it. I'm going to you, King. I don't think that the right of freedom of speech gave her the right to call the woman a bitch, to say that some of the stuff that she said, and you can watch it for yourself. I won't repeat it. I don't think that is what that right is. However, I don't know. Cardi had a right to do what Cardi felt she needed to do, and apparently the judge agreed. What are your thoughts, King? Allegedly do. Thank you very much, Reese. Go ahead, King.
Stay out of people's business or face the consequences. Bottom line, that's what it comes down to. You want to go after celebrities, like you said, Maurice, to get that big fame, to sit there and get that notoriety. My thing is, you get what you're going to get. You come at me and I'm famous, and you sit here and got no facts, I'm going to get you. So anybody like in that position of Cardi B, don't stay out of people's business that you can't back up the information you're putting out. So you should get sued. You better be glad that's all you do, because in some cities you end up a statistic, and ain't no allegedly there. You end up a statistic. So bottom line, you end up a statistic. Okay, you mess around the wrong cities. Okay, I didn't say nothing that wasn't right, that wasn't true. That you can. I said you can end up a statistic.
Go ahead, you can say what you want.
I got you.
Go ahead, Nolan. What's your thoughts, boo?
See, with me, I am my mouth. I'm gonna speak on myself. Anybody that know me, like, I'm broke, like I ain't rich, so don't nobody sue me. I say what I want to say, but it's my opinion. It ain't necessarily it's not. It be sometimes it be facts, sometimes it's just me being me. But Tasha, I watched some prior to this show. I watched like some of her other episodes, and you can't come on and say, this is the reason why I did it. But then I see you got other females that's doing the same exact thing. And then you're like, but I hate somebody that throw a rock and hide their hand. You know what I'm saying? So stand up on what you believe. You feel like this lady allegedly has an STD, then just say that's your that's your opinion. I feel like she lives a regular life. You don't put all
allegedly.
Don't give details on what kind of STD unless you slept with her. Allegedly.
Thank you, Reese. Allegedly.
So, but that's it. I mean, I feel like people should say, like they said, mind your business. But if I see, like, if Cardi's out here doing something and I got a right to state my opinion, it's a difference between when I'm stating an opinion and trying to state a fact. I ain't never been with Cardi. I don't know what Cardi doing. Don't care what Cardi doing because she ain't paying nothing here. But Cardi, if you see this, send a sister a couple of millions.
She said, "No me some money. All righty. Here we go on the next one. Can you hit that, Sean?
Adele canceled her Las Vegas residency at the 11th hour. Was it over relationship issues?
That part. Have you guys in the audience heard about it? It's been everywhere and then some. So if you have not, quick rundown. Adele had this Las Vegas residency scheduled to start last weekend to run through April. She got on, I think it was Instagram, and made it very tearful. Like one of them, I just got a whooping cries that she had to cancel it, which was scheduled to start the following day. Now, her reasons, she said some of the crew members had COVID. They had issues with shipping because the COVID stuff didn't come in. The show was not right. It's not the way that she wanted it to be. However, but it is allegedly being reported that that was not necessarily the whole case, that it may have something to do with some relationship issues. Now, she is dating a LeBron James's manager. Well, okay, she's dating a man who happens to manage LeBron James and some other people. And supposedly there was some relationship issues, and they're saying that that is the cause of it being canceled. Statements have been put out by the Caesar where she was going to do the residency. They was like, our people was cool. They had no COVID. They was ready to go. She just did not like a lot of things up until the last minute, and they were trying really hard to get the show together. Now that you've gotten all that background, what do y'all think about the fact, let's start here, that a show that you didn't pay, because those tickets are high as the heck.
3,000.
No, baby, they go higher than that. Some tickets is high, but even if you pay $85, there were people that were already there because it was scheduled to start the next day. So there were people already there. You've flown, you done made it into Vegas, you got your room, and then you hear on social media, yeah, that's canceled. What do y'all think about her canceling the concert? Reese, go ahead.
My thing is, you're an entertainer, and you leave all that stuff up to your crew and everybody else. I mean, how did you know the drummer didn't have his snare drum, or one of the lights was out, or anything like that? Your main purpose is there to be there to entertain. I mean, and for her to just cancel that show at the last minute, I mean, you think about back in time when James Brown went performing, they banned him from Georgia for almost life. So she gonna cancel her show just because I'm in my feelings, I'm in my emotions. That's what those songs are about. When you write about your life stories, your emotions, and go out there and put it on stage, write a song about it. But you can't just cancel things like that just because of who I am and say I'm not gonna do it. Now, any other celebrity or something like that, when y'all went out there for Usher, if he would have did that, he would have been talked about and kicked out of Vegas, and he'll never perform here again. And I mean, it's just stuff like that. But you get on there and your excuse is not somebody died or anything happened to my family. I just feel it's not right. What? I mean, everything in life is not right, but you still go out there. Even if you bought a guitar out there and went a cappella, you give the people a show. Give them what they came for. I mean, what more do you have that you missing that you can't do this show, and everybody else around you saying, yes, we can?
That's exactly, because it's being reported that in just the pre-sale, they made $50 million. Just the pre-sale tickets. So I agree with you, Reese. We couldn't have got somebody out there playing a guitar or something, because there were people that were already there, and these tickets were not cheap. So you have traveled, that's a cost. You bought those tickets, that's the cost. If you took off for work, got a babysitter, whatever it is, and one person was like, are you going to pay me back everything I spent plus the $90 for the COVID test? Because reportedly, allegedly, she had asked the concert goers to take a COVID test before they come.
Right.
So if that's what she asked, and that's what these people did, they did everything to prepare to see you. What was going on that you couldn't be prepared to perform? King, what you think? And then we're going to hit you, Nicole.
Basically, I mean, it was messed up. Anybody that cancels a show before the show starts, like within hours, that's just totally messed up anyway. But in her case, they talking about, she's dating Rich Paul, which she said like LeBron's Anthony Davis's agent, sports agent. And so they saying basically what they were saying that they was having some issues. She actually flew to LA to be with him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, sometimes they said she was going through rehearsal. She was crying and stuff. Where she couldn't get, actually do the music like she was supposed to. And so she ended up canceling and flying out to LA. And then they showing her leaving. I mean, this is what they showed. This is what I read.
I understand. I'm not talking about her leaving for that. I'm talking about her crying. We don't know. We weren't there.
No, they said that. No, this is what this guy was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. I got you. I just saw what I read. So, but anyway, allegedly. Okay. But anyway, basically saying it was a situation from her relationship with him that that she felt she couldn't perform. So is that messed up? Yeah, it's messed up. I said, but what do you do? I mean, you got to give these people their money back. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. I mean, as an artist, go through what you go through, and if you can't perform, it's what happens. It's jacked up, though. I mean, what can you say? It's a messed up situation that you let your emotions, when in a relationship, take over your job as being an entertainer, and performing in front of your fans.
So
And I didn't even know they were dating. I mean,
So as a fan, like we know you're a fan of New Edition and everything. Would that make you go through that whole situation again to see her, buy her tickets and everything again?
What you mean?
You mean like if they rescheduled the concert?
Yeah.
What, based on that? I mean, yeah. I mean, it just depends. I mean, it just depends how bad I want to see her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as long as I get my money back and stuff. But see, now, mind you, if I flew out to Vegas and to go see it happen, oh no, I just want my money back. I'm not going back to see it.
That's what he's saying.
Not doing that again. Yeah, right. That was the case.
And they rescheduled, a couple of months later, would you go through all that again to go see?
No, I'm not flying back out there. No. If it was local, I would. But I had to fly and do all that. No, I wouldn't do that again. No, that'd be a wrap.
Would you, Sean?
Mm-mm.
Oh no, she's done with me. I'm probably burning out her albums.
Nicole.
I'm finished. I'm done. We through. I quit you.
Y'all done broke. We are no longer together.
Here's my issue too. Allegedly, according to the blogs, she FaceTimed a couple of her concert goers.
She did. I saw the
and
FaceTime.
Said, "Sorry, I can't be there. I apologize. If they reschedule, come out there. But here's a goodie bag." And then look to one and said, "Oh, you're not of age, so you can't drink. So don't take the drinking tokens."
Oh, I ain't see that.
And then not only am I gonna not only that, I'm not calling you back, but my people gonna call you and you can talk to them. You can ask them any question about me that you want to ask them. Well, my question would be, ask her where my money at. Because one of the concert goers said, I need you to reimburse me because I took my savings to come out there. This is my birthday trip to come out there. Like I saved up my paychecks and stuff to come out there. And you mean to tell, this is how you gonna send me a good bag? Oh, you know what? Your best bet is getting that flight to London because, honey, I'm coming. Or you gonna fly me with you.
What do y'all think in the comments, fam? Would you go to the concert if they reschedule it? No. And what do y'all think about them just canceling in general? My question is, okay, if things were not right, because that was not reportedly like her first time hearing the day before that things weren't right. It had been some issues. Why not cancel then? Or why not push it back from starting that day push it back just one day? Why cancel the whole entire residency? Is canceled.
But this isn't the first time she's done it, because allegedly she did it in 2017. So, honey, like this, and the fan was really upset because he flew from London to New York to see her.
Okay, so here's the question for y'all. This will be our wrap-up question on this. We're going on to the next one. Now, we know relationship, let's just say that her relationship has something to do with it, allegedly. We know sometimes when you're really going through with your boo, your wife, your husband, you don't really want to go to work and you don't want to talk to nobody on the phone. And oh, wait a minute, what is going on? Okay, we got some comments coming in, and You don't want to talk on the phone. You just don't want to do much because you're depressed. When she made the video explaining about the COVID and the stuff not being right, I watched it and I remember thinking, oh, that's really sweet that she would do it. She is incredibly emotional. What else happened? That was one of my thoughts. When it was reported that it had some relationship, I don't know if it's true or false. I just remember thinking, oh, okay, now that make more sense because she was crying. But if you know you're going through stuff, you got a lot going on in your life and your relationship not right, you know. So I don't know. I'm not saying that the reason that she did it, but
that tattoo
don't put that off on us.
Must have been good for somebody to play with my coins. You hear me?
Girl.
I would have went out there with snotty nose, everything.
Girl.
You come outside saying Nicole look like a clown out there singing her song. But guess what? I'm securing the bag. I'm giving you a show. And if y'all want to be in my business, we'll talk after the show. But I give you that money.
That part.
But for example, I know
it's an all expense paid, food and drinks included. So that's her saying she'll go if they reschedule it only then. Well, you finna say something?
Yeah, I was just saying, real entertainment to me when a person gives you a show. Beyonce came here maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and they delayed the show because of the rain. She said, "Forget that." Yeah, and she came out. She did the show anyway.
She took a fine for it. That was thing.
Yeah, the fine was because she went after the time because they had to shut down by 11:30 because it was an outside venue. Right. She's like, you know what? I'll pay that fine. So to me, that's an entertainment where she's doing that for her fans.
Right.
And for somebody, I mean, this is your livelihood. I mean, even me was in the military. I can't tell my sergeant or whoever I'm sick. I don't want to go out there in the field. We'll handle that when we get out there. This is your job. You have to go.
Right.
I mean, when this is your livelihood and this is what you do every day to entertain people, and like you said, you get into your feelings and you cancel a whole show when people been looking forward to it. I don't get that part.
I don't either. The whole residency, I don't get that either. We're gonna move on to this next one. King, here you go.
Okay, fam. Is it okay for your friends to date your relatives or your other friends?
Notice I put up there, he said absolutely not.
Exactly. Okay, that's fine.
That's
fine. Yeah, bottom line, I mean, I just feel.
Give us a little background on it. Go ahead.
Okay, I mean, when you got a family member that feels that one of her friends is giving her some vibes and, flirting and this and that, okay, I need you to leave that where it's at. Flirting, okay? Because my thing is, that ain't going to happen. When you got a friend and you talking about family, that don't mix. Okay, it's just like alcohol and driving. It don't mix. Okay, you just don't do it. I mean, it's a respect line, and it's just a boundary. You don't cross that boundary when it's a family member and your best friend or good friend.
Can you
just
explain to everybody why it has anything to do with respect?
Okay, because the thing is, my friends are my friends. That's my family. Crossing that line is like, okay, something happens on either side, there's a problem. If you mess over my cousin, I'm gonna have a problem. See what I'm saying? And that's basically one side it goes. If you mess over my cousin, I'm gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is what you said that it crosses the line of respect. So I'm asking you, what is that?
Because my feel like this. Because my friend shouldn't want to date a family member of mine. One of my friends, that's a respect thing. Of all the women or all the men in the world, I'm gonna say it's mostly women. I'm gonna be biased. It's my women cousins. It's my women family. Okay. That's my problem there for the most part. My thing is all the women in the world, you know what I'm saying, that you can date. And we as cool as we can be. Been knowing each other since high school or junior high school. What would make you think it's, and now mind you, you know my family. We done been around my family. What would make you think it's okay to date one of my family members? No.
Okay, because I just don't get how it disrespects you though.
Think about it. It's a bump.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
I don't see how it disrespects you as a person just because it is your friend and your family member because they want to date them. Obviously, they're attracted to them or they see something in them. They just happen to be your friend, and your relative. So where does the actual disrespect part come from? And then Nicole,
Okay,
I'm
as
waiting for you to
men,
jump in, so I'm gonna let you jump on in. Go ahead, King.
okay, as men, we have a code. Okay, it's just level of respect that you give when it comes to certain things, and so it's just a certain line that you don't cross. And a respect thing is you don't talk to my family. And you wouldn't understand as a woman, and I don't know how just as a
Oh,
man.
wait,
I'm just
hold up.
saying. I'm
Sorry.
just saying. Let
Whoa,
me
hold
speak. Let
on.
me finish. Hold up. Let me finish. I said as men. You know what I'm saying? I said as men. I'm just saying as a woman you won't understand because it's a man thing. I don't know how, like I said, women have that type of thing. I don't know, but I said as a man, it's a respect thing for my best friend, especially when he done been around my family. He knows my family, and I don't care how much he's attracted to her or how much you think. You know, you ain't supposed to cross that line.
Okay.
And that's just a respect. That's a respect thing, period.
Okay, hold
Whether
on, Nicole.
people want to think, you just don't do that.
Okay.
That's
I
something.
get it if you were saying your ex. I get that. But since he mentioned it's a man code, let me ask a man, Sean, as a man,
Okay.
is it breaking a bro code or man code if one of your friends wants to date your female friends or your female relatives?
No, it's not because it doesn't happen. Because we all got a friend and our cousin that we love a lot, and she dated him. Me and him was best friends. We rode together. We went to school together. We hung out all the time together.
Mm-hmm.
He treated her with respect. He didn't hit her or anything like that. So I'm like, no, as long as they cool together and they're happy together, what choice do I have or to say or tell them they can't date? I mean, they both consenting adults. That's what they wanted to do. Now, if I said, hey, he a dog, he hit women, he do this, and she chose to date him, still, that's on her. Me and him, I already told you how it was, but you chose to date him anyway. So if something happens, you already yeah, it might cause friction between me and him, but I told you how it was, but you chose to cross that bridge anyway. So I you can't go around telling people who they can and cannot date if it makes them happy. So I mean, and Chill, we the same person I talk about. They went together for I don't know how many years, and he's still in love with her. So and never touched her, always stood up for her, and we was best friends. So that you can't date my cousin or my sister or anything like that because we are boys. I don't. That's not my. I think if you're happy, be happy.
That,
Okay. Go
and
ahead,
I
King.
understand that, and that's an individual, and I understand that's an individual thing because when we talk about one of his friends, I'm talking about my friends, and my friends know. I make it clear to my friends that y'all can't date none of my family members. Y'all can't date. You know what I'm saying? That's just it, and they understand. My boys, and when I say that, I'm talking about my boys that I'm cool and they know who they are, so they already know they
I
can't
know.
do it. They can,
I'm not on who it is. You made a
right?
blanket.
No,
You
I'm
made
saying.
a hold on. You made a straight up statement that I
Mhm.
wouldn't understand because I'm a woman. That's a man thing. So I asked the man. That man said, "No, that ain't no line crossing, and it ain't no bro code. So that's a king code." Nicole, you are waiting to jump
Well,
in.
no,
The
no, because
floor,
that's just one.
yours.
Hold up, that's just one
Hold on,
man.
no, no,
Hold
no,
up,
no. Wait a
that's just
minute.
Hold
one
on,
man.
no, no, no,
Go
no,
That's
ahead.
just
no,
one
hold
though.
up,
You can't just
Hold
limit
on.
it because it's
hold up,
You
one.
hold
said,
up, hold up.
but King, but you
I've
said
been
I
patient.
wouldn't understand as a woman because it's a man thing. So I asked another man, and that man don't agree with
Well,
you.
that's
So
one
as a
though. That's just
king
one.
code, not a man
That's
code.
one that don't agree.
Go ahead.
No, no, that's just one. That's just one. There's a lot more
Okay.
men.
Okay. All right. Go
I've
ahead,
been
Nicole.
patiently
I
waiting my
know. Go ahead.
turn. So I'm gonna put this disclaimer out there
Go
first
ahead.
and foremost for all King's friends that listen to King. You right. You don't want to holler at me because that means your backbone ain't that strong enough for this right here. First of all, how would he know that y'all? What if y'all start dating or start getting to know each other before he even know that's your cousin? So he's supposed to stop talking to, I say me because I'm your cousin. He's supposed to stop talking to me because now you have learned that one of your friends have connected with one of your cousins, and he's supposed to stop talking to me because of you. Is that how it's supposed to work? Because if it is, then yeah, you right, bro. You not for me. I don't understand if we both on.
First of all,
Unless
Nico,
you
first of all,
hold on,
understand this.
hold on. Unless you run with dudes that don't got nothing, ain't about nothing, that's kind of speaks character on you. But if you got a friend that's doing what he need to do, handling his business, who is it for you to tell that person who they can like, regardless of the fact that is your cousin, that's your family member, that's your female friend? Like, who put you in control of that?
I mean, where's the authority? All the control and the power.
Dude,
See,
Where it come from?
first of all, understand. First of all, understand this. Understand this. It ain't got nothing to do with what they ain't got. It ain't got nothing to do with you talking about a weak backbone. One thing about some men, because I can't classify all of them. Some men that got friends
you
that they
classify all
cool,
the
that they
women, you
got
better
good
classify
friends
all the
that
men.
you know what I'm saying, been knowing for years. No, because quite naturally when she asked Maurice,
You
he didn't agree with
classify
that.
all
So
the
I can't say
women,
all men.
classify all the men.
I didn't say all women. I didn't say. I said. I didn't. I just said in that statement that I made. I said they wouldn't. Some wouldn't understand. So I don't know how they rate when it comes to their girlfriends or their family members talking to somebody like that. I don't know. I'm just talking
Okay.
about speaking for me. So I already know my friends, my boys like that. They and see the thing is, pretty much all my real friends know my family members. They know because they don't been around them. So that's why I make that statement that I know I ain't worried about none of them dating any of my family because they know them, they don't been around them, and they know how that goes. My real friends know you don't step over that line. That just don't happen. So see, like I
I
said,
don't
that's the
even
kind of
understand why there is a line, period.
because
Right.
it
But,
is because it is.
That's because you and
okay,
people business ain't got
again,
no business being in their business.
I don't
They
understand
grown.
why there, I don't
Ain't got nothing to
understand
do with
why
them
there.
being grown. We know they're grown.
Okay, I'll come back to my statement if you let me talk. Let me hit these
Oh,
comments
now
real
it's good. You
quick.
talk, sis. She
Let me
jumps in. Nicole can jump in and say what she say, but when I say something, it's me jumping in. Really, that's what you gonna say? Is that what you gonna say? 'Cause that's
Should
what you just
have
came at
done.
me. Nicole jumped in and says what she says.
Can I read these comments, King?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
Your wife said on the previous topic that she should have done the concert because people spent their hard-earned money, and for some, this was a once-in-a-lifetime event planning for months. That is so true. And
that is
then
true.
Kayla says on this topic, she says, yes, it's okay if it's understood that if something happens, they are family first and you come second. I will not pick sides. Your business is your business, but we protect ours. Thank you for y'all comments. Thank you for letting me read them. Now, back to my statement. I don't understand, number one, why there is even a line to the point where you are this defensive about your stance. And the second point I'm making is I just don't know no grown man that sees a woman he's interested in, wants to get to know, or really attracted to, being told by another grown man, oh, that's my so and so, you can't talk to her. What? And there is no good reason. Now, if there was a dude that King was friends with that wanted to talk to Nicole, and you know, old boy be playing women and he ain't right, all you can do because they're both grown is be like, fam, I'm just gonna let you know that's my boy, but you need to know how he do out here in these streets. The decision is left up to Nicole if she goes forward or not. But to say that he's crossing lines and he disrespecting you and you breaking bro code, and you know when you and I were just talking about it, you ain't fool with him no more. It's that deep, and why? That's my question. So I
Like I
don't care.
said,
I don't care who dates who. Y'all are grown. If something go down, I'm not in the middle because that was between you two. And I've had my brother who dated my friends. I've had friends who have dated my relatives. What they got to do with me? If especially since I got a relationship, but I'm gonna tell people who I'm gonna tell y'all who y'all can't date, but I got a relationship. That don't make no sense to me.
Can I
Go
ask a
ahead.
question
Hold
though?
on. Reese had his hand up first.
No, not you. Can I ask you a question though? How is it that it's okay for your male cousins to date your female friends, but your female friends can't date your male
what?
friends? Like that, that's odd. That's odd.
Well, I
First of all,
know,
what you mean? Somebody? No,
I know.
because like I said,
Okay, you were saying that was just my opinion of one. of a male's opinion. Nicole, your brother Hamilton
Mhm.
went to school. One of his best friends, who did he marry? Wasn't that his sister, Carly's?
Yeah. They were roommates too. Yep, it's college,
So his boy, his best friend, married his sister.
right? And JR didn't get in their business either. And they
So
still friends.
and that's the thing. When you get in these relationships and stuff like that, all you do is wish him the best. You can't sit there and like, nah, man, you ain't gonna do that. If it's your boy, y'all cool. You should want somebody you cool with and your cousin or somebody you care about to be together to be happy. Because if it ain't nobody you mess with, it's like, yo, I don't like this dude. I don't like his vibe or whatever. You need to leave him alone. But if we've been boys for 20, 30 some years, that means he must be a pretty good dude because
Right, because that's your friend, right?
yeah, that's my boy. So if I'm saying this is my boy, this is my dog, and I know he always told me if he get married, I'm his best man. Then I got this cousin that love her to death doing things. She like my sister. I got a best friend that's a great guy, and I got a cousin that deserves to be loved. Why would you want them two to be together? He gonna treat her right.
King,
He gonna
that's
treat
on
her with
you. Hold
respect.
on,
That's
King. Answer.
Okay. Let's understand. Okay, let's lay this in. Bottom line, I feel the way I feel, and partially, a lot of my friends that hung with me, that know how we roll, pretty much ran the way I ran. And anybody knows me from way back know how I ran.
but people
So that's
change.
that's that's partial of what it is. Yeah, and they do. That's true. They do change, but in that process of understanding how we ran and what comes to my family members and how I am about my female family members, that's just something that I make my friends understand. Years that we known each other, that's the line that we don't cross,
And your
But
and that's
how
how
female
is
it works with
friends, because
us.
they can't date your friends either.
but how
Nah,
is
I
it
ain't gonna say
that
about my female friends. I
okay,
ain't gonna
okay.
even say that.
You did.
So
Okay, never
can one
mind.
of
Go
your
ahead.
No, I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying.
Go
hold
ahead.
up, can one of your male cousins date one of your female friends?
King.
I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't got a problem with that. Because then I specifically, let me tell you, I specifically said my
Why?
female
No, you
cousins. I
didn't.
specifically
Why?
said that.
No, you
But
Yo, no,
didn't.
why?
no, I did.
But why?
No,
But why? But why? Why?
because that's
Why
what I'm
so bad?
saying. Because that's the way it is with my best friend, with my friends. That's just the way it is. Okay. So from you to all the other ones, that's the way it is. So y'all can sit
Well,
here and and
I
go
just
back
put
and
my
forth with
disclaimer
me
out there.
about this. As far as and that's fine. And you can
That's
call them what
why
you want to call them.
It ain't
First
going
of all,
no,
you
no, hold
understand.
on. It's not going back and forth. We having a discussion. It's our POV and
First
your
of all, it's
POV. But when you're asked,
first of all, it's not my.
but when you're being asked to explain specific things that you just so adamant about, you getting a little bit upset and defensive. That's just what
No,
it
I'm
is.
not.
But that's not an answer.
Because it's. But okay, listen. What I'm trying to tell y'all is,
Hold on, your
me and
wife.
my
Hold on, your
friends.
wife want to help you out. She said, "I'm going to try to help him out because he is my husband. Things happen in relationships, and if something goes down, he doesn't want his friend to hurt his family. See, now I tried to help you. Never mind. First of all, thank you, Chiquita, but that's not. Those are not his driving points. I feel you, but those
I
are not
mean,
his
don't get me
driving points.
wrong.
His
Don't
driving
get me wrong.
points
That's
were
part of it.
his
That's
driving
part of
points.
it.
His driving points were, I didn't say that's not what you said. I said those were not your
Right.
driving points. Your driving points before tonight and tonight were it crosses the line of respect, it breaks the bro code, and all my friends know you ain't talking to my relatives and my friends. But you not,
Yeah,
but
that too. That
okay.
too. That's
Okay,
Is it
part of it
because
Julius.
too. I'm
is
just
it just
Okay,
saying
because
Julius.
you
it covers a
said
Julius
lot.
said,
so?
Julius said, if you break my cousin's heart, I'm gonna break your face. That's why it's a men pact to not go family
Pat,
female cousin.
thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
I hear you,
That's what I'm
Julius.
trying to
Hey,
say.
boo, hey. And Latanya says, so if they date, do you lose friends and family? Like never talk to them. Latanya, he told me when we had our meeting about today's show, and I quote, they can't say nothing to me no more. And we ain't friends
Oh
no
no.
more. So I don't know what he
And
gonna say
one.
tonight, but that's what he said. And your wife
Oh, I
says,
mean,
because you started that crazy comment while I was typing. She was trying to jump in and help you, but you said something, throw it off, and she like, dang it. Baby, I'm trying to save you.
Okay.
And my thing
So,
is,
hold on,
it's
hold
like
on,
this.
hold on,
It's like
hold on.
this. Okay,
Hold on, Nicole. Go ahead, King.
for all the reasons that I say it, from not having no problems with my friends and stuff, and we still be cool and stuff. It covers all from the past of how we used to ran. It covers all that. So my thing is with my cousins, my female cousins know I'm protective of them, and my way that I do it, and regardless of who they date. It's my thing is it ain't a lot of my I don't have a lot of friends that I can go back 30 years. I can go back 35, 40 years. And a lot of them. So the ones that they do know, and most of them like said because she know my friends. And she know it ain't a lot of them. Guys that I actually deal with. She knows that. So my thing is those dudes that's that close, she know I ain't having it. That dude and my friends know they already know they can sit here and talk to her this and that, but guarantee they won't cross that line because they know how I feel about that. And like I said, it's only a few. Now, when I talk about the bike club situation, that was just a joke. When she that believe me, I have no problem with the bike club because them ain't my relatives. Them ain't my boys like that. I'm saying, I mean, like that. I mean, the ones that I would tell her, I like, look, my boy such and such, that ain't gonna happen because I know how he rolls. So that'd be something like that to some of them. But as far as my boys, because my bike club is a family, then I got my boys that's 35 plus. My bike club, we may be 10 years in. Okay, set five somewhere in there. We talking about friends I got 35 years, 40 years in since high school. So we
So
already
you
know that's
saying
the
it's
whole.
okay if I date somebody that you've been friends with for 5 years, but it's not okay to date somebody that you've been friends with for 35 years?
Yeah, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. It's not the same at all. It's
So
not the
so
same.
what so what you're saying is that
Wait a minute.
relationship
Wait
that
a minute. Chiquita said, "Stop talking."
I hear my wife
Please,
talk.
could
I
you
hear her.
back? Because
I hear
okay,
her.
I feel
He
so
like
said you
you
hold
keep
on,
now
digging
Nicole.
deeper.
pedaling
Nicole,
backwards.
Nicole, hold on. Let me do this. Let me say this now. So you got a best friend that's 35 years in. Is it the
Mhm.
fact that if he hurt your cousin that y'all might not be friends, but if you know he's a good dude and a good background, what's the harm? I'm trying to see. You saying they can't date, but somebody that you
'Cause it-
know for
'cause-
5 years, but you said somebody that you know for 5 years, you don't even know that person. I'd rather for my cousin know
it-
somebody I know is a good dude. I mean, I've known him for 35 years, and this dude that I known for 5 years that's known for going upside girls' heads.
oh no, that's
So
a whole different thing though. If I know that, I'm gonna tell her that. If she feeling him and he doesn't, and I know what kind of person from what I've known of him in 3 or 4 or 5 years, or I'm gonna let her know that. I'm
but
gonna
But you
just
what?
gonna
let
let
her
her
know.
date
Look,
him. But you
But
gonna
I'm
let her
saying
date
what's
him.
no, I ain't, first of all, I ain't gonna let them do nothing. I'm gonna let you know what's going on. So that's gonna be up to you on that part. Cause I ain't
So
known
why
them long
can't it
enough for
be
me.
somebody that's
Cause,
35?
cause like I said, my history with them friends that go that far back, it's a respect thing. It ain't even about how good he is. Ain't got nothing to do. He could be the best, but it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's a history situation that you done been around my family. That's just not something that you
Okay,
do.
so I got a question. You don't want your family to date, or if your homeboy find out, if you find out that your homeboy and your cousin date, female cousin, let me put that
Thank
out
you,
there,
please. It's so
female
specific.
cousin date,
Exactly.
y'all not gonna be friends no more, right?
We're gonna have a
But if
problem.
you find out, but if you find out that same friend dated your ex, you still gonna be friends with him?
So what now?
If you find out that same friend dated your ex, you still gonna be friends with him?
Oh, you know what? I could care less. She's my ex. Oh well. What's the big
Okay,
deal?
well,
She's my
let
ex.
me
That's the
let me say
I'll
bro
get
this.
code.
past it. No, it ain't.
That's the
No, it ain't.
bro code.
No, it's
Hold on.
not. No, it's
Let
not.
me explain to
Not
the
for me, it ain't.
audience.
Not for
Let
me,
me
it ain't.
let me explain to
It
the
ain't.
audience the reason why
I,
this conversation is so passionate is because this is a real life conversation, and somebody has been banned from being able to date Nicole. And for those that don't know, Nicole and King are cousins. However, and but I was told that I'm not allowed to date any of King's relatives either. And I wasn't even trying to. One of them said hello to me. And this whole conversation right here came up. And for me, and I know what you were saying, Julie. And by the way, hey, boom, I know what you were saying, but it's not the fact that King is so adamant because I just don't want to see none of my female friends or my cousins hurt because all of my friends are dogs. His thing was no, that's disrespectful, Nick. How is
It
that
ain't got nothing to
disrespectful?
do with them.
Hold on. I was like, how's that disrespectful? No, they know better. Who know better? These are grown people. Like you telling, I'm a grown what? And it's the disrespect toward him that he's standing on it. So my question is gonna always forever be, how is that disrespectful to you to the point where we may no longer be friends? We've been friends for 13 years, and you may not talk to them no more because they're interested or attracted. But that's just where he stands. His friends, his relatives, they off limit. I still don't get why, but that's why we're having this conversation. I appreciate y'all chiming in the comments. Latanya says, I don't understand his rationale, but I'll respect his opinion. Boom. Boom. All righty, we're going to wrap this part up. Last
We need
minute.
a part 2 to this.
Last minute thoughts. Let me save you two last. Sean, what are your last minute thoughts on this one?
I mean, like I said, I have a cousin and they dated my best friend. He treated her like a queen, and that's all I could ask for. And I'd rather that happen. I know the guy, been around our family forever. He come to our reunions, whatever we have. So he's already like family. So if you got somebody that you know that well, that you already know that he's a good dude, and your cousin want her to be surrounded, that you know that she's going to be protected, and you don't have to worry about her well-being, and he's not going to abuse her or anything like that. I'd rather for them to be together than somebody that would treat her wrong and disrespect her.
Ooh, let me see who get to go first.
King.
Nicole said King. King, your last comment.
No, by all means, please. No, your guest. Please, my guest goes. No, my guest goes. No, my guest would go. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, Nicole.
I'll go. First of all, again, to all King's friends, if you want to holler, you can holler. King will be all right.
He'll still be breathing.
Let's just put that out there.
He'll still be breathing.
First of all, he know I said. I feel like this. If we can learn how to keep it separate, I don't bring you into this relationship, and we all kumbaya. And if something happens, I know I can't come vent to you about your boy. Then, yeah, I respect your opinion to that. But if he a good dude and he been trying to holler for years, and it ain't because of you, then yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Catch that, King. Catch it. Hold on, before you make your comment, Julia says, I'm glad he is my cousin because I can't be controlled. Don't judge me. Girl, I ain't judging you because I feel the same way.
No judge, Julia. No judge.
Jay.
Like that. If you warn me about old boy and be like, yo, he ain't sugar honey iced tea, then yeah, I can understand you stepping in. But if you know you run with a good circle, you want your friend happy and your family happy, which I don't agree with you because you got double standards. Because if any of my cousins, male or female, want to holler at one of my guy friends or female friends, and I know they good people, I'm gonna let it roll. If it's not, then I'm gonna be like, yo, she ain't even about that. So we ain't even put that mess out there on her. Then I don't have a problem. And you, regardless of whatever happened in the relationship, that's y'all business. Y'all grown. Y'all gotta handle it like grown people. Because if that's the case, are you gonna run to your mama every time there's an issue? I ain't coming to you every time there's an issue. I got other male cousins that I can go to and get their opinion about my relationship. But again, if King friends want to holler, I'm available.
He's saying bypass King. All righty, King. Let us have it.
Okay. First of all, most of my friends got you by so many years, so that's gonna X that anyway. So that's just one part of it. I'm just let me. I didn't let you.
Okay, go ahead.
That's just one part of it. But like I said, my friends that I hold true to myself understands my reasoning and my way of thinking when it comes to situations like that, and they don't have a problem with it, regardless of how much you talk to them or whatever. It will never go to that limit. Believe me when I say. The conversation, you like I said, you might hear it from one perspective, but believe me when I tell you, it's not what you think. So what I'm saying is, that's just where my belief is, and my friends have the same type of attitude. You know what I'm saying? We already know that because they know I won't cross that line. Regardless, they know that because that's just how I am, and that's why I make it the same to them. Yo, y'all already know. That ain't something that we can debate on. That ain't something, okay, how good you are, whatever. That just don't happen. We just don't do that. But that's my circle. And I say that, that's my circle. It can be, I don't know how other brothers, how they run. If they run like that, I ain't got no problem with that. But my circle, or my partners, that's how we roll. So, with that being said, I enjoyed all the topics. I enjoyed my guests as always. Love my cousin, Nicole. Definitely love my cousin, Reese. You know, it's just how it goes. Love you too, Nick. So, we all do this because it's our POVs. And that's just the way we think individually. No harm, no foul. So,
That's just the
I
way
appreciate y'all
it
coming out
is.
again. Appreciate everybody.
Let Nick get her
Yes,
opinion.
okay. I am getting ready to. I'm just saying my last. So, now that being said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Nick, I'm sorry.
I
Your
was just
last
waiting on
thoughts?
your permission for me to speak, child. It's been an amazing show. We had another topic to hit, but we won't have time because we don't want to hold y'all all night. So we'll save that for another time. Thank you, everybody in the comments, for chiming in. Thank you to those who shared. Thank you, guys, everybody who is here on the stage with me. Thank you so much, King, Reese, and Nicole.
And yeah.
Uh, grown men, grown men. If y'all are interested in meeting or talking to Nicole or myself, we are grown women. You can talk to me or her. You ain't got to go through no third party because he a grown man with a wife. And if you're single, then I can see if you married, but if you single, we grown. You can talk to me. You can bypass the third party. With that being said, we love to leave you guys with a word of the week. I don't even know if I have one. That last conversation just took all my good thoughts. But
Make your mind up.
child. But I will say this. Just in lieu of the conversation we had about Cardi B and Tasha K. We're not bloggers and we're not Cardi B, but you are a person and you know how to be respectful. We can talk about people. We can murder people with our pink tornadoes called tongues, and we all need to stop that. I understand you may have your opinion, but when it crosses over to people being bitches and all them other words and saying all that other stuff, that is defamation of character. That is killing somebody's character. Let's just be grown people. You don't like somebody, quit hanging around them, and that's it. That's all. I ain't got nothing else for you. Thank all of y'all so much for tuning in. Want to remind you all, if you are ever interested in joining us on stage or sending us a topic that you would love to hear our different POVs on, y'all know y'all can email us at nickandking@gmail.com. If you have not done so, please like us or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at POV with Nick and King. And you can always catch us streaming live on YouTube as well as the replays. Catch Your Girl at the Obstacle Overcomer podcast. You can find me everywhere, but you can always see the episodes on YouTube. With that being said, we are done. Drop the mic. And as always, kings and queens, keep reigning. Talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Yeah.